The field to the green, Devin Snell in car number 10 will find himself on the outside. Lonnie Somerville in car number 23. He was on the podium here last fall, outdueling McEwen and Darren McKinnon. Somerville's been pretty happy with that race car as of recently, hoping a good starting position can propel him to the front. Of course, Ashton Tucker and Corey Hall, that's been the battle all season long, the back half of last season. The last 5 races have been won by either of those drivers. Drivers getting some heat in those Hoosier 1070 race tires. Greg Fay with a great starting spot. That team, Chris Horn, Jeremy McShane, Damian Brisley, and the whole crew have felt really good about that race car and their chances. Could we see Greg Fay crack through to the podium or to a win this afternoon? Ryan Rains finds himself on the outside of row number 3. Rains has had some solid runs here in years past. Keep an eye on Kent Vincent. Driver number 8 is going to be strong as always here on the high banks of Petty International Raceway. This time by race fans, we want you up on your feet. Let's send off the cars and stars of the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Wave off and wave to your drivers. Send them off in style. This is the Old-Fashioned Meat Market 150, round number 4 of 2024. Drivers will get the one-to-go signal this time. Tim Elliott in the flag stand. Frank Jackson will cut the lights on the pace truck. "16 cars, 150 laps. Robbie McEwen and Devin Snell in the front row. Rolling through 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the Old-Fashioned Meat Market 150 is underway. Down through turns 1 and 2, down the backstretch, Robbie McEwen will look to lead lap number 1, and the Sherwood driver will do so. Lonnie Somerville has dispatched of Ashton Tucker, and now Greg Fay on the inside in car number 20, the A.E. Horn & Sons Chevrolet on the inside of Ashton Tucker. Keep an eye on Dylan Gosby in the 16. Did not have a great starting position. With the Hamkey prepared, Nav Canada Toyota will find his way to the front sooner rather than later. Side-by-side battle on the racetrack continues. It's Greg Fay on the inside and Ashton Tucker on the outside. Kent Vincent waiting in the wings behind, looking to knock on the door and make his presence known. 5 laps complete, 145 to go. Fay in the 20, up to the 4th spot, and Ashton Tucker drops in behind. Now falling into the clutches of Kent Vincent. Corey Hall on his way forward. A little bit of a skirmish near the rear of the field. Ryan Rains, Gary Elliott in the 22 of Brody Lewis. They find themselves at the rear of the field, losing a bit of ground to the rest of the field. Chris Duncan and Dylan Gosby, they had a run in or two in the heat race, and it is continuing in this feature event. 9 laps in the books and drivers starting to settle into position. Robbie McEwen runs that middle groove. Lonnie Somerville looks underneath of a close confidant and a close friend. Devin Snell on his outside. Somerville looks for the runner-up spot. Track temperatures and conditions have certainly changed from earlier in the day. The overcast skies have gone away. It's blue skies and sun. 11 laps in to the old-fashioned meat market 150. Robbie McEwen up front. Devin Snell in a battle with Somerville. Somerville on the inside. Side-by-side battle for second. Greg Fay in behind in the 20. Then it's Ashton Tucker to round out the top 5. Kent Vincent, Corey Hall, Ryan Messer, Darren McKinnon. Those 4 drivers towards the back of the top 10. Curtis Collins rounds out your top 10. Expecting a long green flag run to kick off today's feature event. McEwen leads. He's got 2 car lengths over Lonnie Somerville. Somerville on a bit of a winless streak with the 23 and would love to park it in victory lane, presented by Epic Racewear. Chris Duncan is on his way forward in car number 97. Duncan underneath of Curtis Collins. Just outside the top 5, Corey Hall has decided it's time to go. Works the passenger side of the Anderson Automotive R Steams Mechanical number 8. Hall will roll the outside, and he'll pick up position number 6. And looks to do the same around Ashton Tucker. Tucker going to have to get a little bit defensive, but he's locked in a battle with Greg Fay. That will stall the progress of the Picto driver. And here comes Kent Vincent back to the inside. Side-by-side battle, Ashton Tucker and the 20 of Greg Fay. Fay caught on the top side, the 2 of Tucker on the inside as they come across the stripe. "128 laps remain as they cross the stripe. Robbie McEwen's lead has evaporated. Lonnie Somerville is there. Greg Fay has lost a couple of spots now to Ashton Tucker and the 83 of Corey Hall. Ryan Rains found himself on the outside of row number 3 and is about to find himself the first car 1 lap down. McEwen extends his lead once again. It's a couple of car lengths over the Barnesville driver. McEwen around the top side of Ryan Rains. Rains is going to let him go. Somerville will look to do the same. Devin Snell in the 10, having a great run so far. Holding on to 3rd at the moment. A couple of strong cars in his rearview mirror, though. It's Ashton Tucker. Corey Hall has closed in as they navigate their way around the Fog City Auto Spa Sureflow Plumbing Ford. Hall can't make anything happen yet with the 2. But they are going to move up through this field. The most recent winner in the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series cannot start more than 50% of the way through the field at the next event. Hall found himself 9th on the grid, and 30 laps in, he is up to 5th and looking for more. Greg Fay gets the run on Kent Vincent. Vincent in the 8. On the inside of the 20 of Greg Fay, and they will continue to run side by side for position number 6. McEwen has led every lap so far, and if he can time this out right, he can start using lap traffic probably in the next 25 or 30 laps to keep the distance between himself and the rest of the field. The Ryson Construction Chevrolet puts some distance between himself and Somerville. And the 10 of Devin Snell holds on to third for now. Snell, a feature winner this season already at Speedway 660. Looking for a career best finish with the Super Late Model Series, wants to get on the podium. Ashton Tucker and Corey Hall continue to battle outside of the podium. Further back, Darren McKinnon starting to lean on Greg Fay a little bit. They will get around Brody Lewis. They will look to do so in the next couple laps. McKinnon, a little contact to the right rear of the 20 of Greg Fay. And now he will lose the position to Fay. And it looks like he may lose the position to Messer and maybe Chris Duncan as well. Nearly 3 wide momentarily. McKinnon stuck the nose in there and had to back out of it. Chris Duncan up another spot. And Darren McKinnon will now have to get up on the wheel to get back to where he was. This has allowed Ryan Messer to close in to a 6th place at the moment. Little contact there between McKinnon and Duncan. Everybody keeps going. Top 5 have broken away from the rest of the field. 40 laps complete, 110 to go here at Petty International Raceway. Lonnie Somerville doing what he does best. Runs the middle groove. Devin Snell decides he wants to follow in with Somerville. Down the backstretch. Robbie McEwen leads by a car length, maybe a car length and a half. Over the 23 of Somerville, it's Snell 3rd, Tucker 4th, and Corey Hall 5th. They all run under a blanket, but nobody has been able to catch and dispatch the 40 of Robbie McEwen so far. Ryan Messer in land of his own in that one car. In behind him, Greg Fay. Big slide out of the AE Hornet Son, number 20. Duncan in the 97. Darren McKinnon in the 18. And Kent Vincent in the 8. It's a 4-car battle for the 7th spot. Greg Fay finds himself backwards. He will be in desperate need of a caution. .47 complete. Ryan Rains about to go down a lap once again to the 40 of McEwen. We've got a 3-horse race for second. Corey Hall just in behind. Somerville in the 23. Looking for a great finish here today. He's been 3rd a couple of times in Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competition. Little slide out of Devin Snell that time. Maybe a front end wiggle, but he maintains the tire tracks of the 23 in his windshield. Gary Elliott in the Quaker State Chevrolet holds on to the bottom of the racetrack, and Gary Elliott will go down a lap. Just past the 1/3 mark. It'll be 98 laps to go for the 40 of Robbie McEwen. Danny McMurray spotting for the 40 of Robbie McEwen this afternoon, hoping his driver can park in victory lane. Ashton Tucker has closed in on Devin Snell, but can't make anything happen at the moment. Tucker drops to the inside. Side-by-side battle, it's not over yet. Devin Snell puts the pressure to the 2 car on the outside, Tucker in the inside. Ryan Messer, Dylan Gosby, Ashton Tucker, Corey Hall. Some of the drivers who've won in Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competition. Side-by-side battle continues. It's now Tucker in the inside, Somerville on the outside. Devin Snell has dropped back to position number 5. Somerville back to 3rd now, and the Littleton driver up to 2nd, trying to bring Corey Hall with him. Couple of King competition, Fury race cars, 2nd and 4th. They got the Hamkey in between them of Somerville, while it's a Clattenburg prepared car that leads the charge up front. "60 laps complete this time, 90 to go." The old-fashioned meat market 150. Clean and green so far. Corey Hall on the inside of Lonnie Somerville. Somerville will not give up that position easy. And while the top 5 sort themselves out, Ryan Messer has been inching ever so slightly, closing in on Devin Snell. Ryan Messer was the inaugural winner last season in round number 1 at Speedway 660. In a side-by-side battle shaping up now, we could have the first lead change of the afternoon. 64 laps in. Robbie McEwen has led so far, but Ashton Tucker on the outside. Curtis Collins way up the racetrack. Corey Hall in the 83 will get by. Collins will go down a lap. New leader, Ashton Tucker. 65 laps complete. 85 laps to go. Tucker to the top spot. He started on the outside of row number 2. Methodically worked his way through and has made the pass. Will it be the winning pass? We will find out at the end of 150 green flag laps. One driver who is desperate for a yellow today is Greg Fay. Fay started 5th. Nearly a winner at Speedway 660. That car, all kinds of sideways, nearly came around on him on the backstretch. Midway through the field, Darren McKinnon and the 8 of Kent Vincent, a couple of former IWK 250 winners. They duke it out outside the top 5. Chris Duncan has been having a great run so far today. The Easy-Kleen number 97, doing it for all the folks from Easy-Kleen today. Robbie McEwen has not let Ashton Tucker get out too far in front of him. It's been a car length at most between the 2 and the 40, but the 83 of Corey Hall is there. Hall, as the most recent winner, tied for wins with Ashton Tucker. Those two hold on to the all-time wins total. Of course, Greg Proud, Dylan Gosby, and the one of Ryan Messer, your other winners as well. We've had 5 career winners. Robbie McEwen looks to make it a 6th. This time by 75 up and 75 to go in the old-fashioned meat market at 150. Greg Fay in the 20. Holds on to the bottom as Ashton Tucker works the outside on the 20 car. Fay will go down a lap. The way that A.E. Horn & Son Chevrolet has kicked sideways a couple of times, I wouldn't be too surprised if the 20 found himself sideways or backwards before this thing is all over. Hudson Weston started 15th on the grid and is about to crack the top 10. Power steering issues have plagued that team the last couple of events. And the Bayview Kenworth number 43 works the inside on Chris Duncan. Corey Hall in the 83 down the backstretch. These were your top 3 in the season opener. Corey Hall up to the 2nd spot now. It'll be 82 laps in the books this time. While the battle up front settles itself down, the 23 of Somerville, the 10 of Devon Snell battle for the top 5. Ryan Messer is there, a little contact with the 10. Messer and Kevin Moore found himself in contact with one another in the feature at Speedway 660 1 week ago. Messer looks to keep the car clean. Snell looks to do the same. They will continue their battle. Next driver to find himself possibly a lap down in the next few laps is Chris Duncan. Duncan representing Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems and Auto Body Plus on the high banks of Petty International Raceway. Duncan closes in ever so slightly. Holding on to P11 at the moment. Tucker closes in ever so slightly. Correction on that one. "88 laps in the books. The last 23 or so have been at the helm of Ashton Tucker. Hall in the 83 holds on to 2nd. Robbie McEwen back to 3rd. Your top 3 have about a straightaway between themselves and Lonnie Somerville. 90 laps complete, 60 to go. Chris Duncan will go down a lap. Curtis Collins about to go down a 2nd lap. And the 43 of Hudson Weston in danger of being the next car to be lapped. St. Martin's and Barnesville. Doing battle, and Ashton Tucker will put another lap down on the 27 of Curtis Collins. $93 in the books. Is this all Corey Hall has in that bumper-to-bumper Plant Seafood King competition, number 83? Hudson Weston has gone down a lap. The 83 will work his way around Curtis Collins and will stare at the back bumper of the Bayview Kenworth, number 43. Ken Vincent next to go down a lap. Another 3 laps or so, and he'll have to give way to Ashton Tucker. Closing in on the lap 100 mark. We have been clean and green all the way through, all 16 starters still on the racetrack. Correction, looks like we are missing Ryan Rains in the 94. Rains looks like he's called in an afternoon. Gary Elliott also off track in the 36, so we are down to 14 cars on track. Ken Vincent has gone down a lap. Brody Lewis will go down a lap as well. New ride for Brody Lewis, a former Allison McKinnon race car. Allison and his son Hunter deciding they're going to go legend car racing. And the opportunity presented itself for the 22 to maybe get into some newer equipment. Lewis in the 22 gives way to the lead lap cars. $103 laps in the books. 47 to go. A rapid pace this afternoon, and it could set an all-time record for race length. This is the beauty of having your setup dialed in from the start, because situations like this can arise. You could find yourself like Greg Fay, in need of a pit stop, but not getting one. The Somerville-Snell-Messer battle has not eased up in the last probably 60 laps or so. Somerville in the 23 would like to get back on the podium, but he is losing sight of Robbie McEwen. 3 cars down laps between the 40 and the 23. Ryan Messer back to the inside, and Devin Snell .108 in the books. 42 laps remain. Greg Fay will go down another lap. Darren McKinnon will find himself in danger of going down a lap. .110 in the books, 40 to go. Somerville around the outside of Curtis Collins. Collins part of the Lonnie Somerville Racing Stables, along with the 10 car of Devin Snell. Corey Hall has lost sight of the 2 of Ashton Tucker. Is a full straightaway separating your leader from second. Darren McKinnon now down a lap. The next lead lap car to go down a lap, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is Ryan Messer, who is 6th at the moment. $1:14 in the books. It'll be 1:15 this time. 35 quick laps remain. Here at the old-fashioned meat market, 150. Curtis Collins going to give way to Ashton Tucker in the 2. Will make his way by and put the 27 car down a lap. Ryan Messer is committed to the bottom side and really determined to get into the top 5. 1:18 this time. This is the longest green flag run we have seen in Super Late Model Series races so far. Ryan Messer's crew going to give him the word. Race control will do the same, that the 2 of Ashton Tucker is on his way to the back bumper of the Waterfront Pub number 1. Somerville off the pace. Way up the racetrack, something has gone awry with the Pub's drive-through bottle exchange number 23. What has broken Somerville's car, and he is going to come to a stop in turn number 3. Caution flag comes out for the first time this afternoon. $120 laps in the books, 30 to go. What has gone wrong with Lonnie Somerville? He grabs a gear and tries to keep going. Did he maybe hit a kill switch getting out of the way? Maybe battery problems. Greg Fay gets that pit stop that he really was desperate for. The 8 of Kent Vincent will do the same. Somerville, of course, will head to the pit area. Jamie Weston, Clark Moore, Lonnie Somerville, some of the crew, Sean Warren, Bob Calhoun, of course, one of the guys making it all happen for the 23 crew. Let's give thanks to our marketing partners with the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Of course, the folks from Easy-Kleen who are here with us today. I know we got nearly 100 of them that are here on the property, cheering on their driver, Chris Duncan, as he sits inside the top 10. Clam Diggers Beach House, Bricon Construction, Doherty Right-of-Way Services, King Racing, B&G Motorsports. Some of our marketing partners. Our race sponsors as well, of course, the folks from Old Fashioned Meat Market who are here. Fog City Auto Spa, Castle Building Centers, Chapman Brothers Construction, Universal Truck and Trailer, Recar, Wonder Auto, and Tire. Those are your race sponsors for the Super Late Model Series. Epic Racewear sponsors our Victory Lane, and it looks like Ashton Tucker will find himself there at the end of the day. If Corey Hall doesn't have anything to say about it, maybe Robbie McEwen can get the car going on a short run. Some of our contingency sponsors as well. We got Penske Shocks, Swift Springs, AFCO, Castrol, Port City Race Cars, Hyperco, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, GD Fabrication, and EIT Race Radios who presented our pole award, $150 in the pocket of the 40 of Robbie McEwen. And big thanks goes out to Brent Rowley and the crew for making sure that everybody on the racetrack has good communication, and everybody in the grandstands, if they choose to do so, has good communication with themselves and the race cars on track. AR Bodies, Clattenburg Racing Fabrication, DRP, Two Speed Motorsports, and Raptor Filters. Rounding out our marketing partners here on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series here at Petty International Raceway. Missing a couple of our competitors today who had planned to be here. Greg Proud, I believe there was some damage from an event at Riverside, and he was not able to make it back. Same with Mike Rogers in the Rogers Apartment Rentals, number 41. Dustin Tucker was on the preliminary entry list as well, and Dave Oblinas was there as well, but unfortunately we have not seen those drivers here today. Dave Oblinas and his crew from Plasma Works Metal Arts are making all of our trophies this season. And from my vantage point here in the tower, I've got a pretty good view of today's old-fashioned meat market 150 race-winning hardware. I see a race fan down there checking it out now. Get a picture of it. I believe drivers are going to choose this time. The choose rule in effect. Drivers will either head to the inside or the outside. Ashton Tucker makes the call to go to the outside. Corey Hall will find himself in the inside. Obviously, Tucker is the control car in the restart and has to lead the field to the green. Corey Hall cannot get the jump on him. Robbie McEwen in the 40, the 10 of Devin Snell, the 1 of Ryan Messer in the inside. Lonnie Somerville on the outside. Hudson Weston and the 20 of Greg Fay line up in row number 4. Weston, the last car on the lead lap. $14 cars still on the racetrack of our original 16. Ashton Tucker has chosen the outside, and the 83 of Corey Hall on the inside. Off turn number 4, 120 in the books. Green flag in the air. It's a Hall and Tucker showdown in the final 30 laps of this one. Has Corey Hall saved enough to get to the top spot? Your winner 3 weeks ago in Prince Edward Island at Oyster Bed Speedway. Corey Hall led all 150 laps, and he will take the top spot on lap 122. They have separated themselves from Robbie McEwen. A Verstappen and Norris-esque battle that we see up front. Ryan Messer trying to get up to 4th. He's finally up into the top 5 due to the trouble with the 23 of Somerville. Somerville finds himself 6th at the moment. Robbie McEwen's got to get up on the wheel. He's got to pull himself away from Snell and Messer if he wants to be on the podium. 25 to go. Corey Hall will have to settle for second. Ashton Tucker is back up front. Tucker looks to become the all-time wins leader with the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Ryan Messer continues to get to the door of Devin Snell, but can't make anything happen. Snell started on the outside of row number 1 alongside race leader Robbie McEwen. $128 in the books, 22 to go. Hudson Weston from 15th on the grid knocks on the door of the 23 of Somerville. We have minor 3-wide action a little further back. Darren McKinnon is on the move. The 8 of Kent Vincent and the 97 of Chris Duncan have been glued to one another all race long. 19 laps to go for Ashton Tucker. The last time Tucker led an old-fashioned meat market 150, it was our championship event. Dylan Gosby has been pulled off the racetrack for quite some time as well, so make it 13 cars on the racetrack. $16 to go. Corey Hall really hasn't been able to do anything with Ashton Tucker. He's had to settle for second in this race after starting 9th on the grid, being the previous winner. But when we go to Oyster Bend Speedway on the Brunswick Day weekend, it's Tucker who will find himself in the back half of the field to start out, and Curtis Collins is off the racetrack. Bad break for the Barnesville driver. $13 laps to go, and it's Ashton Tucker leading so far. Wasn't completely satisfied with the White Lightning Auto Center Empire Luxury Limousine Chevrolet when I talked to him in between the heat races and the feature. Lewis in the 22 will give way, and Tucker will make his way by. Darren McKinnon has been a man on a mission. He has reeled in Hudson Weston. It won't be a top 5 run, but the 18 of Darren McKinnon is not going to let that bother him. Second place run at Oyster Bend Speedway a couple of weeks ago. McKinnon probably thought he'd have more in that race car on this Sunday afternoon. 141 in the books and 9 to go for Ashton Tucker. Tucker down the backstretch. Once again, Corey Hall, big front end wiggle out of the 83 car. Really had to hold on to it there. Robbie McEwen has been unchallenged in the 3rd spot for most of this race. McEwen all last year ended up 2nd in the standings and did not crack the podium. Today, it looks like he could be on the podium for the 2nd time in 4 races. 145 complete and 5 to go for Ashton Tucker. Champagne and hardware at the ready. 4 to go. A rapid pace we have seen here today from our Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competitors. Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 to go for Ashton Tucker. Down the backstretch once again, Corey Hall with a great drive, but he will have to wonder what could have been. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Greg Fay down another lap. Down the backstretch for the final time. He will set an Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series all-time wins record. Win number 4 goes to Ashton Tucker. Corey Hall comes home 2nd. Robbie McEwen 3rd, Devin Snell 4th, and Ryan Messer rounds out the top 5.